What is going on, my little Devastator babies? It is Byrdman, your dev daddy, here with another Devastator build. Today we're going to be talking about my ultimate Impaler build. This is an absolute juicy Bannerlord set that essentially is going to get you through anything that's Apocalypse 30 or plus. Right now, whether you're doing solo, playing with people, whatever it might be, it's going to work. Honestly, the Bannerlord set is an absolute awesome addition to Outriders Worldslayer. I know you can pick it up using my link down below. It would really help me out if you purchase with my link. But regardless, I just want you guys to be playing this right now, and especially this build. It's absolutely so much fun. I've been doing it pretty much all day over my Twitch stream. Now you can follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778. I'm gonna be trying to stream it every single day starting at noon Eastern Standard Time. But if you don't catch me on stream, know you can find one of these videos. I'm gonna be trying to upload daily here for the next couple weeks, just so we are able to get plenty of Outriders content out there. Now, do you know, again, this is a juicy build. We're going to talk about it. Now let's jump right on in. So when it comes to the gear that we're using for this build, obviously I'm using the Death Shield and the Mythos like I was my last AP video. Make sure you guys are checking that out. But I will say the Mythos is probably one of the best overall weapons just because of that Omen perk that it has. It's going to do a lot of anomaly damage. It's going to inflict enemies with bleed, which we really want just because it's going to help with our healing plus some damage. And then it also has that increased damage received by 10% for 3 seconds whenever it applies to an enemy. So this is going to be great for bossing, but also just in general. I mean, you hit a big old group of mobs and then you activate Impale, they're all going to die. So we really like having this. Death Shield is also a great choice just because of the dimensional rockets that we have on it, Claymore Turret, and then the Fortress mod. But in general, Mythos, use Omen as much as you can, guys. I would definitely recommend using this. Now, on our pieces of gear specifically, we're using the Bannerlord set. I transmogged everything so it's going to look different. But the Bannerlord set is great because of the fact that we're going to add Tremor with our Impale, and that Tremor is going to increase the cooldown of our Impale, so that we're able to use it more often. So really great to have this. I've really enjoyed this in big groups as well, just because I'm able to get a full sack of our Impale off and then just have one ready to go almost immediately. I really enjoy this. But this comes with Shredder, and I added on Palisade. It already had the perk Mitigation of Death on it. Can't really do much about that, but extra armor is always great. I definitely recommend trying to have as many uses of Impale as possible, and as many applications of it as humanly possible. So Palisade is a really good option, and I really like Shredder just for the fact that it's going to hit an enemy with an extra Impale 0.5 seconds afterwards, dealing 50% of that damage. It's going to make sure pretty much anyone that you Impale is going to die from it. Now moving on to the chest piece, I added Unstoppable Force. It's going to help out in our class tree, but know that increasing your non-power by 50% of your resistance piercing, we're going to be doing that here soon. I'll talk about it. Has Crush sequence on it for 2 additional explosions, so we're going to be able to use that Tremor longer to then increase the cooldown again of our Impale. And then finally, this came with Ultimate Impaler. Absolutely nutty having this on this. This was like definitely one of those god rolls that you would get of this piece of armor. So really enjoy Apocalypse gear for that specifically. Now, moving on to our pants, has Stronghold already on it. Allies and yourself within range get 20% resistance and 20% armor for 5 seconds. Really just nice just to have that extra healing and whatnot. And then finally, I added on Tainted Blood for the extra damage to bleeding targets. Now, do know that this isn't exactly optimal anymore just for the fact that it got decreased, but I'm hoping that, with time that this will kind of age better and that they might take away that nerf to Tainted Blood for us. But regardless, this also comes with Rivers of Blood, making sure our Impale is going to be doing more damage to bleeding targets, which pretty much every enemy will be bleeding. Moving on to our gloves, it has Postmortem on it, and then also I added on Despair. So obviously we're going to be using Gravity Leap for this. Despair reads, enemies within a damage radius of Gravity Leap will receive 2 times more anomaly damage for 5 seconds. Great for bossing, great for killing like captains and all that stuff in general. Just a really good perk to have, and it goes really well with one of the PAX tree nodes we're going to be talking about here in a second. But it finally has Arms of the Anomaly on it. Absolutely, Arms of the Anomaly. Everyone, listen to me right now. Arms of the Anomaly. Amazing perk. Put it on every single AP build you have right now. The more anomaly power that you have, the better. Now moving on finally to our boots. This already had Impaler on it, obviously great to have. I added on Grand Blast for that extra radius, especially like in trials and stuff like that. The areas seem to be really compact with enemies, so the more people inflicted with my Tremor, the more cooldown I'm going to get for Impale. And then finally, This has sharpened spike on it, making sure that our Impale is doing more damage. Going to our skills, obviously Gravity Leap. This is going to just be great for activating Despair and also just getting into groups. I really enjoy Gravity Leap for the fact that it adds so much mobility to Devastator. We're able to fly across the battlefield, land on a group, and then activate Tremor, and then maybe get our Impale back faster, or jump into a group and then just activate Impale, and they're all going to die. So we really enjoy that. Tremor, obviously, for the healing, and then just the overall infliction for Bannerlord set, and then Impale. I don't really have to talk much about it. You all know it is one of the most goated skills for Devastator. Now, going over our class tree, again, we are going to be going bottom tree, the AP set. We're obviously going to all these anomaly reservoirs for the boost it gives us there. We're going to go into both these endless tremors to help the cooldown on our tremor itself and Impale. I have to go into this unending watch. I can't really do much about it because I'm trying to go into strong armor anomaly, where it's going to go with that perk that we had before, Unstoppable Force. Unstoppable Force increases your anomaly power by your resistance piercing, and strong armor anomaly reads, after using a class melee skill, increase resistance piercing by 15% for each enemy hit for 10 seconds. Again, increasing our anomaly power as much as we humanly can, making sure every use of that Impale is going to absolutely juice our enemies. Obviously, we're going to go into both these pure anomalies here and here for the extra resistance piercing off the bat. Definitely going to Stone Circle to increase our close range. I really enjoy this just for healing aspects as well. Just being able to have more enemies heal us is just really nice for the survivability. I added anomaly bullets for the extra increase to our firepower based on our anomaly power. Just gonna help out with especially using Mythos, just helping us edge out a little bit more damage. Definitely going to be going strong armor the law for the increase to our class melee skill. Fun fact, the higher your anomaly power, the stronger your melee is going to be, so make sure you're going into this perk. Executioner, obviously, for the extra damage to targets below 30% health. I really like going to Protected by the Anomaly for the extra armor based on anomaly power. We have to go into Rejuvenation, but Skill Life Leech is definitely something you need to do. Skilled Sentry, increase our armor and resistance. Kind of goes with that perk that we had before, where it's going to increase that. Bloodbath for the extra damage to bleed afflicted targets. And then finally, Earth's Heritage for the increased damage to our Impale and our Tremor. Now, moving on to the Pax tree. Our last build, we went up into Upheaval for that, but instead this time we're going to go into Richter Rising and also the Energy Transmission. The reason why we're doing this is because Richter Rising reads enemies damaged by both seismic and kinetic skills with 4 seconds, receive a 15% more damage for 4 seconds. We're going to be constantly doing this, especially with Gravity Leap, and then activating Impale or Tremor on an enemy. They're going to get more damage. This is great for bossing and goes really well with that Despair that we're going to be using on Gravity Leap specifically. Now, this is where, again, using Tremor is going to not only help your Impale, but it's going to help your Gravity Leap, Energy Transmission. Each enemy damaged by a kinetic skill increases the damage of your next seismic skill by 15%. So, again, just using Gravity Leap on an enemy, we're instantly going to have a stronger Impale because of it. But each enemy damaged by your seismic skill reduces the ongoing cooldown of your kinetic skill by 0.5 seconds. So this is where Tremor is really going to come into play, because it's not only going to help the cooldown of your Impale, it's going to help the cooldown of your Gravity Leap. So you're able to use it more. So juicy. Love this. I'm glad I found this. I was originally going with Upheaval, but realized it just really wasn't doing all that much damage, and I have a much better flow with these two perks instead. Thanks so much for stopping by this video, guys. Hope you really enjoyed it. This really is an absolute insane build. I'm really glad that they decided to put a bit more of focus on Impale, because unfortunately, when Outriders first came out, it had such an awful stigma behind it, just purely off the fact that it was holding back progression on expeditions, or even on whenever you were doing one of these stay on the platforms. If an enemy was impaled on the platform, it just held it there and wouldn't let it move on. So I had plenty of my friends and just people I was running carries for over on my stream being quite frustrated with that. But now that they fixed it, it's just an absolute juice and ability. I really do enjoy it. I kind of wish they would do more sets like this where it focused on one skill rather than just an in general, kind of concept. Right now, the Concussor set is really cool, but at the same time, the fact that it's running through Golem, it's all melee, and by the time you get to Apocalypse 25 and higher, it's damn near impossible to do any type of melee-only gameplay. In fact, it's also based around Golem as well, as a little back and forth. It's not really much of a damage skill. It's just a little too hard. I would love to see something maybe focused around, either Earthquake again, even though, you know, we pretty much have the size of a commander, so it's practically just an earthquake build. But I would like to see something cool based around that, or maybe even like something else, just like gravity leap would be really neat. Again, the Marshall set is based a lot around gravity leap, but maybe have something where we get like a third use of gravity leap, just constantly just slamming. Maybe make it like a meteor set. I don't know. I'm just a little Devastator boy out here trying to make the best content humanly possible. And guys, thank you again for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you give me a thumbs up on the video, becoming a member on the channel. Now you can purchase Outriders Worldslayer with my link down below. You can also follow me over on YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch at Byrdman778. We're going to have some awesome partnerships coming up here soon. So make sure you sound by the channel. Code Bird will be revived here very, very soon. But regardless, guys, thank you so much for stopping by this video. Hope you have a great rest of your night, day, whatever it may be.